dolls! So today's video is going to be the best palette tag, and I haven't seen a ton of people filming this, so the only person I've seen film this was Blush and Shades Beauty, and she is amazing. I love her videos and she gives some great tips and is really informative on different makeup products and just makeup in general, and she does an excellent job what she does here on YouTube. And I thought this tag would be perfect for me to film because I absolutely love eyeshadow palettes. I have a tiny obsession with them, so I have a huge variety of them from drugstore to high-end. So this is a great tag for me to film, and this tag has 8 questions, but the 8th question has 3 parts to it. And just a few disclaimers before I begin. So the first one is I'm super sorry that I missed Tuesday's video because it was super cloudy and rainy and it was not good lighting at all. So the second one is I am having a new filming schedule. So for now on, I'll be filming Tuesdays and Fridays because I think 3 days a week is getting a little too much for me because I have some schoolwork to get done and just stuff like that. And the third thing is, I was wondering if you guys would like to see a Mother's Day DIY project because Mother's Day is this Sunday. So if you guys are interested in seeing that video, leave a comment down below and that will give me some ideas if I should film it. So without further ado, let's get started. First question is best packaging. I think that would have to go to my Too Faced chocolate bar palette. This palette is so adorable. First of all, the packaging is shaped as a chocolate bar. What more can you ask for? This is right up my alley because I love any kind of chocolate. I love candy. Sweets is just my thing. So I love this palette so much. And secondly, the eyeshadow smell like chocolate. Yes, that is definitely a huge plus for me because I want to eat the palette, but I can't because that would be gross. But for the eyeshadow shades in this palette, there are some unique, gorgeous shades in here for nighttime and for just everyday use. So there are some really deep shadows for a dark smoky eye for the nighttime if you're going out or something like that. And there are some really pretty neutral shades for a day-to-day neutral eye. So if you're looking for some good smelling eyeshadows and a great palette with some nice eyeshadows, I definitely recommend the Too Faced Chocolate Bar. The next question is a best color payoff, and I think that would have to go to my Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. This palette is so nice and it is adorable. I love the packaging. It's rose gold, and first of all, the eyeshadows are mainly pinks, so that is right up my alley. You guys know I am obsessed with pink. Pink is my favorite color. Anything pink, I'm getting it. So this palette is super great for me because I love all the pink shades down here, and there's some really deeper shades for nice smoky eyes for the nighttime, and there's some really good variety of shades in this palette. So I am super impressed with this palette and I'm obsessed. The next question is most versatile, and I think that would have to go to my Lorac Pro palette. This palette is so nice. First of all, the packaging is so sleek and nice, and that's what I love about it. But the other thing I love about it is the eyeshadows. The eyeshadows are so buttery. They're so nice and smooth on the lid. I just love how they apply. I love that you have some matte shades and then some shimmery shades for a nice day-to-day look. And you can pop a nice matte shade in the crease and then a sparkly look on the lid. So you can make so many different looks, and it is the most versatile to me. So I love this palette so much, and I definitely recommend the Lorac Pro. The next question is best for travel, and I think that would have to go to my Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. You guys cannot go wrong with a nice small palette for travel because I do not want to be carrying around a huge naked palette when I'm on the plane because I want something easy and that's not going to take up a lot of space because I have my carry-on and all that stuff. So this is great for travel. It has some really gorgeous shades in it. I am a huge fan of this palette. This is one of my favorite palettes when I first started getting into makeup and more eyelid stuff and all that great jazz. So there's some really cute and nice and pigmented shades in this palette. I love that there's a nice matte black, there is some matte browns, and there's only one shimmery shade, which is the color Venus, which I love so much for the inner corner for a nice pop of brightness on the lid. So this is a huge fan of mine, and I always go back to this whenever I am traveling on the plane. And the next question is biggest regret. I think that would have to go to this CoverGirl palette that I picked up at the drugstore a couple days ago or a couple months ago back. So I don't know what the name of this is, but it's just a nice neutral palette, but I just do not like how the eyeshadows apply. They're chalky, they're not pigmented to me, so this is definitely not a palette for me because I love pigmented shadows, I love buttery shadows, and this is just not doing justice for me, so I don't recommend this, and this is not my style. Next question is best color names, and that would have to go to my Too Faced Natural Eye Palette. I love this palette so much. It is a gorgeous but basic neutral eye palette. I used this for my birthday when I did my makeup, and my mom got it for me, and I fell in love with it. It is a really flawless palette. I love the pigmentation of each shadow. Too Faced always has nice shadows, and I am impressed with this palette, so I will be repurchasing this palette when I do run out of it. The next question is Lyssxo, and that would have to be the Benefit World Famous Neutrals. I don't remember purchasing this, or even using it, so this would have to fall into my Lyssxo category. And it is a really basic but really gorgeous neutral palette. It has 4 colors and they are awesome. I love the pigmentation, so I will have to keep you guys posted on what I think of this palette, so I have some time to play around with it. The next question is most loved, and that would have to go to my Steal in the Light palette. I remember why I love this palette so much. It is a gorgeous, flawless, natural eye palette, which there are some shades in this palette that I have never seen in any other color palettes that I own. And there are some really nice eyeshadows, and they're super pigmented, and I love them so much. So there's some smoky eye colors like a dark brown, a black, a gunmetal gray, and there's some neutral shadows in here. So this palette is awesome. I love the pigmentation. I just love Steel's palettes, and definitely check out Steel's eyeshadow palettes. They are awesome, and they are worth the money. And the next question is most used, and I would have to go to my Urban Decay Naked palette. I use this palette so much. It is a flawless palette. I love it so much. It has some great eyeshadows in it. There's some neutral and basic colors in here, which are essential if you want a nice neutral palette with a lot of different eyeshadows in it. So there is a ton of neutrals down here, and then on the further end of the palette there are some deeper shades for a nice smoky eye. So I do recommend this palette. It is amazing, and this is the first palette I have ever used and ever purchased when I started getting to more eye makeup. So I do recommend this palette, and it's worth the money, and I just love it. And the last question is, if you were on a desert island, what palette would you take with you? And as you guys may know, I am going to take with me, if I was on a stranded island, the Lorac Pro palette. This is an amazing palette. I just love this eyeshadow palette. It is so amazing. The pigmentation of these shadows are out of this world. They are amazing colors, and the color selection is awesome. I just really do recommend this palette, and it's worth the money, and it is amazing. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys like to give it a huge thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, girls. Mwah.